Hello friends, how are you? I'm Nopur. Thank you all for taking the time to come to my YouTube channel Nature at the Very Core of Science. Today's topic is about the internment camps in Urumqi, Xinjiang province, China. The thumbnail shows the nighttime satellite picture of the location of the camps. What are those camps? Beijing clarified that those are vocational education and training center created for the convenience of the Uyghurs. They also gave the camp a rather cheeky name, re-education camp. Well, tell me, if it is so, then how come children aged 3 to 6 years are also included in this program? And that too, forcefully. What a wonderful idea to fool the entire world. Let me tell you, those are nothing but new prisons or detention centers for the Uyghurs. We discussed in one of the earlier videos about the Uyghurs. They are a group of Turkic origin living in Central Asia. The Uyghurs are the second largest major Sunni Muslim ethnic group in China, and Islam is an important aspect of Uyghurs' identity. Do you want to know how the Xinjiang Uyghurs are living in China, in these camps? Okay, Chinese President Xi Jinping is now using AI technology to increase his totalitarian control over the Uyghurs. Once the Uyghurs come out, just a few blocks out of the camp house. House? Oh no, just a little place to lay one's body. They encounter a checkpoint where one of Xinjiang's thousands of surveillance cameras is hidden. Footage from those cameras is processed by algorithms that match facial images to snapshots taken by police during so-called health checks of Uyghurs. During these checks, police measure Uyghurs' height, take blood samples, record voices, and examine DNA swabs to extract all possible physical information. Last but not least, some Uyghurs are forced to participate in genetic data mining experiments. Want to know what the test is? Determining how Uyghur DNA creates uniquely Uyghur-like chin or ears or noses. Uyghur women's pregnancy test samples will make you shudder. Some are forced to have abortions or have intrauterine devices inserted into their bodies for birth control. Others are sterilized by the state. Police snatch unauthorized children away from their parents, who are then detained. Such measures have reduced the Uyghur birth rate by more than 60% in some regions of Xinjiang within 3 years. Now, what is the problem of Chinese Communist Party or CCP with Uyghurs? Originally from Xinjiang, China officially known as the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region or XUR. There are currently over 1.1 million Uyghurs, less than half of Xinjiang's total population. They are distinct from the Han Chinese, the main ethnic group in China. Xinjiang, which has seen massive Han immigration in recent decades, is accused of a move by Beijing to weaken the minority Uyghur population there. Both Uyghurs and Han claim Xinjiang. The Uyghurs want greater autonomy, while the Han government is trying to transform it from a border region into an integral province of a single Chinese state. So there is ethnic conflict between the two sides, and the result, resistance and sporadic violence between the two groups. And in the name of combating religious extremism, terrorism, and maintaining social stability, the CCP has turned XUR into a vast concentration camp shrouded in secrecy, just as the Nazis did the Jews during the Holocaust. My friends, see, the CCP's plan to oppress and control the Uyghurs is not an isolated story. History knows that brutal resistance to democracy, extreme disregard for human rights, and resort to authoritarianism are all systematic principles of imperialism established by the Chinese Emperor Xiaowen in 493 AD. The leaders of the People's Republic of China have always seen themselves as heirs to a Chinese state that has been a superpower for most of recorded history. The successors of the emperor continue with utmost devotion to the very old strategy which is the source of the aggressive power of the CCP. The whole world saw how Chinese communist rulers crushed their own student protest in Tiananmen Square in 1989, how they brutally killed their own citizens. So now, when the reason for Beijing's headache is a non-Chinese minority group in the country, think how far the authorities can go to discipline them. Just imagine the extent of the tyranny of the rulers. Let me emphasize the policy of Jinping government on Uyghurs. Exterminate their lineage, uproot them, sever all connections, and annihilate their origins. CCP is keen on their motto, remove the affected organs before the cancer spreads. They jumped to fulfill their mission in Xinjiang in May 2014. Xi Jinping is determined to erase Uyghurs' ethnic identity, distinct language, religion, culture, making them Chinese, or Sinicization of Islam. Campaigns are being carried out to label Muslim religious traditions such as wearing headscarves or face coverings and large beards for boys as backward, outdated, or an influence of extremism. In the last 6 to 7 years, the holy mosques and shrines have been demolished. Those who have visited them have been given lengthy prison terms on false charges of religious extremism. Destroyed cemeteries. Purpose? A spiritual history of the Uyghurs must be pushed to extinction. More than 100 Uyghur students who returned to Xinjiang from abroad for as little reason as international contact or studying in Western universities have disappeared, while others have been arbitrarily detained in prisons or died in detention. Prominent Uyghur figures who could have inspired the younger generation are either in exile or disappeared overnight like magic. Economist Ilham Tohti has been serving of a life sentence since 2014 on charges related to separatism shortly after calling for the implementation of Xinjiang's regional autonomy law. Renowned anthropologist Rahile Daud was arrested in 2017. Two US-based Hua Foundation rights groups confirmed that China had sentenced Professor Daud to life in prison. What is her crime? The CCP says that Daud is making a deliberate attempt to divide the Chinese nation. Daud is an outstanding teacher and researcher. Her work on Uyghur culture is a great asset to the young community. Her group of admirers are scattered all over the world. For heaven's sake, why would she become a separatist? China knows very well that if the freedom of education of the Uyghurs is undermined, they will be severely injured and they will not be able to turn around. So they have falsely imprisoned Daud. In January 2018, Islamic scholar Mohammed Salih Hazim died suspiciously in Chinese police custody. And pop artist Abdul Rahim Haid, initially rumored to have died in concentration camp, as the news spread, Chinese state media released a video showing Haid saying he was well. But many people have great doubts about the authenticity of that video. Whether Haid is missing, murdered, or still alive, no one knows his exact whereabouts. Thus, if the Uyghur intellectuals are eliminated one by one from the society, the work of protecting and preserving Uyghur culture and heritage will be completely destroyed, and the Zohar will then be completely axed for greater economic and geopolitical benefits. Such is the outline of China's broad plan.